Hey folks, so at the request of a friend of mine, Jay Zaretsky, in response to a posting I made on Facebook about various concerts I've been to, and I posted a bunch of stats about the shows that I've been to over my life and pictures of some of the tickets, he said, why not put together a little video series, or I guess a series, of talking about some of the shows you've been to. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a shot, and hopefully people like it, or don't watch it if you don't. Anyway, the show I want to talk about today is this one. It's the Silver Clef Award winners Knebworth show. This was a show I went to June 30th, 1990 in Knebworth, England. It was one of the very earliest shows I ever went to. I was in England because after high school, my parents gifted me a trip to Europe, and I was starting in London, England. So I was staying with my uncle a couple days before the trip started. And I remember having heard about this Knebworth show on a radio station back in Detroit, and they were giving away tickets. So I knew that I was going to be there around that time, but I never really looked into it much. But when I got to London, I was at my uncle's place, and I asked my cousins about it, and they said, oh, we've heard of it, but don't think tickets are available. So I went to a ticket broker, called them up. They said, oh, we just had a couple people return their tickets, so if you want to come and get it, it's yours. So I went down, picked it up, and the very next day, I was on the train to Knebworth, and I guess there was 100,000 people went to that show. I got there right as it started. Tears for Fears were the opening band. They had just started with their first notes, and I weaseled my way somehow right down to about 40 feet from the stage, and I parked myself there for the whole day. It was great. I mean, the lineup on that show was just unbelievable. Like I said, Tears for Fears kicked it off. But some of the other artists, Phil Collins, Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits played. Eric Clapton, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page joined Robert Plant for 4 songs. So that was a huge reunion that they were saying was, one of the big highlights of the day. For me, Clapton certainly was a highlight of the day. Elton John played. Paul McCartney played. He was the second last artist, and then Pink Floyd was the headliner. And for Pink Floyd, it was great because I actually moved back probably 100 feet because they had a big laser show, and they usually have a white circle where they show the lasers. They project the lasers onto, but the wind and the rain caused the cloth or the whatever surface was in the circle, it blew away. So they still shot the lasers, but you could see them on the clouds because the cloud cover was so low. So the lasers were projecting on the clouds. So if you look up, it was just a big giant movie in the sky. It was awesome. I remember I didn't want to lose my spot for any of the show, so I didn't eat or drink anything for the full day because I didn't want to risk having to go to the bathroom. And there was people there. The food that they had, I remember it was a burger with 8 patties, and it was massive. And I was looking at them, people eating them, and I was like, I want one, but I didn't want one because I didn't want to lose my spot. So I ended up not eating anything for the full day or even drinking anything. It was about a 14-hour show. I got to my uncle's very, very early the next morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I think. Anyway, it was just unbelievable. They made a CD package and a DVD package of the show, and I think a few years back they re-released an expanded DVD package, so I suggest if you haven't seen it, go out and try to find it and see if you can see me in the audience. Who knows? The one interesting thing about that show, in terms of how it's affected me for other shows, I bought a t-shirt from that concert, and I used to wear it, and one day, several years later, I washed it. I was in university and I washed it, and I accidentally turned it from bright white into kind of light, very light purple tinge to it. And I thought, oh my God, I ruined the shirt. And from then on, I said, I'm not going to ruin any other shirts that way, so I've never worn a concert shirt since. I will buy them, but I won't wear them. And if you see me wearing a concert shirt, it's either one that I never went to, someone gifted me a shirt, or I bought 2, because I don't want to ever risk ruining another concert shirt. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk about another one next time.